Hello everyone. India is a country rich in cultural diversity. You can see people celebrate different festivals, eat different foods, follow different religious beliefs, but you can also see them united by heart as Indians. Today India is one of the largest economies in the world. It is the 6th largest economy in the world, 13th largest country by international trade volume. It has got the 4th largest foreign exchange reserves in the world. But things have been quite different 7.5 decades earlier. As we are about to celebrate our 76th Independence Day, let's see what caused the downfall of the nation, how it bounced back, and what lies ahead for the ever hard-working citizens of India. During the 17th century, India was one of the richest nations in the world. It accounted for nearly 25% of the world's GDP. Agriculture was one of the biggest contributor to the economy. Although primarily it was an agrarian economy, many manufacturing activities were budding in the country. India had the great reputation for its handicraft industries, ranging from cotton and silk textiles, to metal and precious stoneworks. That's because of the high standards of craftsmanship. Such developments encouraged the British to paralyze the country and use it for their benefits. They arrived in the name of British East India Company for trading. They slowly but surely started to transform from a trading company to a ruling one. They defeated the Nawab of Bengal in the Battle of Plassey in 1757, followed by the Battle of Buxar in 1764. They took control over the majority parts of India. Following the Indian Rebellion Revolt of 1857, the British Crown took direct control over India in 1858. The British exploited India. They took away each and every penny they could. Utsa Patnaik, a renowned economist, in one of her essays published in Columbia University, said Britain looted nearly $45 trillion of wealth from India. To give you all a perspective, that's almost 15 times the current GDP of British economy. According to their plan, India's industrial sector was totally demolished by implementing protectionist policies. India's industrial sector was brought down to its knees. India was governed for the benefit of their homeland. Britain's rise for 200 years was financed by its depredation of India. It was used as a supplier of raw materials and a market for finished goods. The growth of India literally stagnated during the British rule. While it represented a quarter of global GDP in 1700, by the time of independence, it was reduced to a mere 3%. While its per capita income was 196 rupees in 1900, it was just 201 rupees at the time of independence. After the end of World War II, Britain's economy was totally out of its shape. Its foreign debt mounted several billion pounds and the food was rationed to its citizens for the first time in its history. Britain no longer had the military or economic power to control the colonial territories. And at that time the freedom movement in India was at its peak. With no choice in hand, British decided to withdraw from India. After nearly 200 years of slavery, India got independence in 1947. Because of British's worst economic policy, India's economy was in its worst state since its history. Its literacy rate was alarmingly low, pegged at 12%. In 1950, its GDP was a mere $30.5 billion. India's economy went through different phases after independence. During the period of Cold War, even though India remained non-aligned, the Indian leadership was closer to that of Soviet Union. So, our successive governments followed the ideology of communism. In 1950s, majority of sectors were placed under state control, private players were left with only consumer goods sector. Even after independence, the economy did not grow as much as expected. Its exports were stagnant for the first 15 years after independence. The reason for this is the system of License Raj. For people who don't know about License Raj, it is a system of red tape. Imagine you decide to start a business. For that you need to get permission from the government. But the problem here is that you need to get license approval from narrowly 80 government agencies. That's insane. With all your patience, even if you get all these approvals, the government would regulate your company's production. You cannot produce your product as much as you want. This system of License Raj not only hindered, nearly made impossible to start and operate business. And the final strike for the Indian economy came with the fall of Soviet Union, its then largest trading partner. India was at the brink of bankruptcy. Its forex reserves fell to as low as $1.2 billion, worth just 3 weeks of imports. The entire world anticipated the fall of India. With no solution in sight, Indian government under the leadership of then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh decided to liberalize the economy. They opened the gates of the Indian market for foreign companies to start their business. They incentivized foreign investment, approved up to 51% foreign equity participation, dismantled public monopolies, devalued Indian rupee up to 19%, and most importantly they abolished the system of license Raj. And guess what? It actually worked. Foreign direct investment increased from $132 million in 1991 to $5.3 billion in 1996. Poverty reduced from a staggering 36% in 1993 to 26.1% in 1999. India's economy started to grow, shattering all hurdles. Fast forward to 2022, India is the third largest economy in Asia, sixth largest in the world. It exports nearly $670 billion worth of goods and services, and received $83.57 billion of foreign direct investment. At the time of independence, more than 50% of India's GDP came from the agriculture sector. In 1947, the nation produced around 50 million tons of food grains, and despite producing more than 6 times of that today, agriculture now makes up just 16% of our economy, signifying the immense structural shifts that the Indian economy has undergone, particularly following the implementation of liberalization policies in the 1990s. In 1960, India's per capita income was just $82. The World Bank's 2022 per capita income figure for India of around $2,200 certainly looks like huge progress. As a member in groups like G20, BRICS, Quad, SAARC, it has a lot of influence in regional and global politics. Even though we are an ally of United States, notwithstanding the pressure from West, we continue to trade with Russia and buy discounted crude oil. This simply tells the influence of our country. And today India's economy amounts a staggering $3.3 trillion. But wait. Does that mean the growth of India to be a major power can be achieved without any hindrance? The answer is no. There are several underlying issues that need to be solved to achieve the economic prosperity. The most important of all problems is its bureaucracy. While people of Japan consider a government job as a chance to serve its nation, in India it is considered as a safe haven. Once they enter into the job, they are literally untouchable, their performance are not cross-checked, and they don't function to their full potential. If India's economy need to grow, we should eradicate the bureaucracy in the system. We need to create a modern and efficient infrastructure. Roads are the nerves of a country's economy. And more than anything, we need to modernize our railways. Because of its poor infrastructure and slow speed, more than 70% of transportation takes place in already overly congested roadways. Projects like expressways, high-speed trains, and dedicated freight corridor are the right steps. We need a lot of them connecting each and every corner of our country. Our organized sector is strong and vibrant. But the problem is with our unorganized sector. Majority of its problems goes unnoticed. More than 90% of our workforce is employed in the unorganized sector. So, the government need to create more and more jobs in the organized sector. Because millions of graduates enter into the workforce each and every year. And the rate of female participation in our workforce is minimal. A country without female participation in its economy cannot blossom. The contribution of women to the economy is just around 17%, while for nations like China and United States, the numbers stand out as 40 and 48%. We need to educate, motivate, and create jobs for women to achieve financial independence in their life. A country only with a strong industrial sector, a mighty service sector, and a vibrant agriculture practice can become a superpower. We as Indians, let's march towards that goal and make India a prosperous and developed country. If you like the content, please do subscribe our channel, press the like button, drop a comment and share our video with your friends and families. Until then.